Happy New Year! I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to the first episode of My Waifu or Husbando is Better Than Yours in 2018. Each episode, we will be putting two heroes into the spotlight and see who reigns supreme over the other. First, they will be judged by all of their attributes, which includes their stats, weapons, skill, etc. Then, we will put them into a battle simulator and see who's the better one when head on. Not only that, we will be also giving them their best possible skill build and put them into the ultimate mass battle showdown to see who will be crowned the winner of My Waifu or Husbando is Better Than Yours. Let's not wait any longer and introduce our contestants. Standing on the left corner, the Mage General of Etruria, the former teacher of Roy and Lilina, the Etrurian General, Cecilia! And standing on the right corner, the eldest princess of Nifl, Fiom's older sister, the voice of dreams, Gunnthra! I know, we kinda already know who's gonna win, but since they are the only two horse-riding green mage in the game, it's still worth comparing the two. Seeing two mature beauty going all out, what's not to like, right? General vs Princess, Etruria vs Nifl. Who will be crowned the winner? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Round 1, Stats and Skills. Let's start with their base stats total. Cecilia has a BST of 144, and Gunnthra's BST is 145. The first point goes to Gunnthra. What about their rating after weapon and skills? Cecilia's total rating is 158, and Gunnthra is 164, 0-2 to Gunnthra. Next, their hit points. Cecilia has 36 HP, and Gunnthra has 37. Once again, Gunnthra scores 0-3. Let's look at their attack now. Cecilia's attack is 32 plus 11, and Gunnthra is 31 plus 14. Since we will prioritize on their base, Cecilia wins this time, 1-3. What about their speed? Who is the faster unit? Cecilia has a speed of 25, and Gunnthra has 33, 1-4 to Gunnthra. Now, let's look at their defense. Cecilia has 22 points in defense, and Gunnthra has 19. Cecilia scores one back. The score is now 2-4. Last, their resistance to magic damage. Cecilia has a resistance of 29, and Gunnthra has 25, 3-4. After looking at their stats, Gunnthra is leading by only 1 point. Cecilia still have every chance to make a comeback. Next, shall we look at their weapon? Cecilia wields the Grown Raven Plus Tome with 11 might. It grants weapon advantage against colorless weapons, which means she could deal more damage and receive less from the likes of bows, daggers and staves. As for Gunnthra, she has Blizzard, a tome that has a might of 14 and grants her additional resistance of 3. Not only that, it also grants her attack bonus equal to the total penalties on foe during combat. Whose weapon is better? With a higher might and 2 abilities, Blizzard is a slightly better tome in my opinion. 1 more point to Gunnthra, 3-5. There's a few areas that we won't be comparing, such as Assist, Special, Passive C, since one of them doesn't have it. However, we'll still briefly go through it. Cecilia has rarely resistance as her assist. It grants a target adjacent ally a +4 on resistance. And Gunnthra has Glacis as a special. It boosts her damage dealt by 80% of her resistance. In Passive C, Gunnthra has Resistant Ploy, a passive that reduces foes' resistance in cardinal direction by 5 if their resistance is lower than hers. Now to the passive that could be compared. First, Passive A. Cecilia has Attack +3, a skill that grants her 3 additional attack. As for Gunnthra, she has Fortress Resistance that grants her a resistance +5 by reducing her attack by 3. According to GameAid, Attack 3 is rank B. And Fortress Resistance is also B. It's a draw. And last, Passive B. Cecilia has Escape Rope that enables her to warp adjacent to any ally as long as her HP is 50% or less. How about Gunnthra? She has a new passive called Chilling Shield, a broken skill that inflicts a -6 attack and speed to the foe on the enemy team with the lowest defense at the start of her turn, as long as her HP is 50% or more. So whose B skill is better? Chilling Shield, of course. The last point goes to Gunnthra. And this concludes the fight of round 1. With a score of 3 against 6, the winner of round 1 is Gunnthra! I don't think anyone is surprised with the outcome so far. However, it will be interesting to see Cecilia make a comeback though. Anyway, let's move on to round 2 head-on fight. For this segment, I'm going to use the FEH damage calculator by Andu. First, we're just going to let them brawl with their default skills, IV with no buff. Let's look at the result in a one-on-one situation. It seems Gunnthra trashed Cecilia in both player and enemy phase due to her B skill Chilling Shield. The debuff then further increases her damage output because of a weapon, which makes the fight a walk in the park. Hence, the default fight goes to Gunnthra. How about we give them their recommended skill build? For Cecilia, Grown Raven Plus, Triangle Adapt, Green Tome Breaker, Horn Cavalry, Moonbow, and a plus attack seal. For Gunnthra, Blizzard, Swift Sparrow 2, Chilling Shield, Resistant Ploy, Glacis, and a Speed Seal. And the result? Both gets to KO their opponent while initiating. However, Cecilia requires a follow-up attack to get the job done compared to Gunnthra. No matter how you look at it, even if you give this a draw, it still won't change the final outcome of round 2. Hence, the victor of the second round goes to Gunnthra. Before we proceed to the final round, let's recap back the result. Gunnthra has won the first 2 rounds, leaving Cecilia with no wins at all. Could Cecilia avoid a humiliating 3-0 defeat? Let's find out in round 3 mass battle. For this segment, we will be using the same damage calculator as round 2 to calculate how effective are they against all the other heroes. Instead of looking at only their kills, we are going to consider their draws and losses too, and the result will be in the form of percentage. Here's the formula. First, we will calculate the result with their default build. And Cecilia draws 42, loses 124, and wins 38. What about Gunnthra? She draws 41, loses 24, and wins 139. Let's convert it to percentage to see their winning rate. What a huge difference! Gunnthra's winning rate is nearly 50% more than Cecilia when initiating. Is it due to her Chilling Shield Blizzard combo? What if enemy attack first? Would the result be any different? Cecilia draws 47, loses 103, and wins 54. On the other hand, Gunnthra draws 28, loses 27, and wins 149. After conversion, Gunnthra still has a significant lead. Hence, the default fight goes to Gunnthra. Now, let's move on to their best build. Was Cecilia able to outperform Gunnthra this time? Let's look at the result. Cecilia draws 26, loses 88, and wins 90. As for Gunnthra, she draws 3, loses 16, and wins 185. In percentage, still Gunnthra overpowered Cecilia in terms of winning rate. What if they defend first? And here's the result. Cecilia draws 20, loses 86, and wins 98. And Gunnthra draws 4, loses 40, and wins 160. After conversion, the Ice Princess has the battle rate of 79.4% compared to Cecilia with only 52.9%. It's a complete victory for the Voice of Dreams. But before we announce the winner, Should we at least give Cecilia another chance by changing her weapon to Ground Blade? But by doing so, we would also have to give both of them Horn Cavalry buff. What will the result be this time? Cecilia draws 1, loses 30, and wins 173. And Gunnthra draws 2, loses 13, and wins 189. When defending, Cecilia draws 3, loses 77, and wins 124. As for Gunnthra, she draws 2, loses 37, and wins 165. Even with Ground Blade, Cecilia still could not beat Gunnthra. And with that, the last round goes to Gunnthra. Hence, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this episode, My Waifu or Husbando, is better than yours is Gunnthra! What a one-sided match. To be honest, I did not expect the match would favor Gunnthra this much. Her unique passive in B is really broken in my opinion. Even though Cecilia might have lost this matchup, but she's still an indispensable unit to many summoners. Her Raven Tome plus horse riding ability makes her a popular hero among many, especially with her appearance in the 3-star and 4-star pool. So, don't shut her out yet, at least until you get a better Green Tome cavalry unit. Thus, what's your thought on the results? Who do you think should have been a better waifu? Let's discuss. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content like this. You could also leave a comment below to suggest who would you like to feature in a future episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. I'm starting to love the Kingdom of Nifl now.